Hello, welcome back. Let's rebuild a water pump for a cranking engine. Show you how that's done. I got one apart already. And I got this one here. So between the two, we should be able to make one good one here. I got a seal, a mechanical seal, and then an oil seal, and then some gaskets. But the first step to do is pull this gear off. Because we'll set it up. We just have to make sure that we clear the impeller here. On the plates, line everything up, and then we'll go from there. And there we go. Simple as that. All right, set up on the bench. Let's do a quick inspection of things here. Caught that. I'm going to press this one out too. The reason I'm going to press it off is so I can clean up the seal face, or the rotating seal face for the mechanical seal that rides down in there. We need to make sure that's in good shape. All right, I'm back. We got this pushed off of there. So that's the part. The next thing we need to do is get that old seal out of there. But I'll try to pop these out. These might be a battle. All right, I pulled the first part out, just the mechanical with the seal part. Got in there with the pliers for that part. Here we go. That part's out of there. And then look at the crud. That's why the weep hole was plugged. And there's a seal down in there we got to get popped out. This guy right here. All right, got her back. Here was the oil seal that was rusted in there. It was not coming out. Heated it up. That didn't work. Finally got down on the edge with the chisel. That's what I used to cut the side of it without damaging or hitting the housing. That's what that looks like. It's still a little warm. But I'm going to get things all cleaned up. I'll bring you back and we'll put this together. I have things all cleaned up here. So I did sand down the faces here a little bit. There's some pitting. It's all manageable. Same thing with this one. Some pitting. The impeller that came out had a deep groove cut into it. I think the groove would be all right, but it's close to where the seal would ride. There's a little lip for where the seal would ride on there. So this one could probably be saved by cleaning it up a little bit. But I have this one that came out of the first one I took apart. This one did clean up a little bit. I did have to machine it down just a little bit. I took a few thousandths off of it to get down to some fresh material. So I'll be using that one. I did order a new shaft a while back because one of them was bent. And yeah, and I got a good gear here. So everything is all ready to go. The first thing I will do is go press this on quick. We'll just get that set in there. All right, new shaft is put on the impeller. Now the next step is to put the seal in there. So I'm just going to use a socket. Looks like that fits pretty good. I'm going to go press this in. Be back again. All right, so I got the seal put in. We're good on that part. Now the next part is to put the mechanical seal in. I found that a 32mm socket will fit just right there to get that on there. All right, there we go. I'm just going to wipe this down so there's no oil or anything on that stationary face. Same thing with this. No oil on the rotating face. Now I'm going to try to just oil the shaft a little bit. Well, you know what? I screwed up. Let me put that on backwards. I need to press that back out and start over. Look at that. All right, take two. Got her in there the right way now. Kind of had a dumb attack on that first go around. Just going to put a little oil on the shaft. And try to. Yeah, there we go. So I did get some oil down on the seal, or the lip seal. Now we'll just put this together. All right, so I got you set up. And we will get this to go on here, hopefully. And then it says the impeller should be flush. Need to come down a little bit more, it looks like. The impeller is supposed to be flush with the housing. Right there. That'll give us the proper preload on the seal. Everything looks good there. Then that is a rebuilt water pump. Little movement on the back side. And then we are sitting right where it's supposed to be. All right, the last piece to this puzzle is to adjust the gear lash between the two bevel gears. And I got the engine set up here just to make it easier to show how that is done. The bevel gears are set up in here like this, and we need to get 4 to 6 thousandths of gear lash. I have a light set up in here just to make things easier to see, but I do have the oil pump set in here, and you can see I'm rotating the oil pump here. The next step is to install the water pump. The gaskets are what sets your bevel gear clearance, or your gear lash, between the two. I did have to make an extra gasket here to get my proper settings on here. And I'm going to put this in here without the water jumper in there, just in case I have to pull things back apart. And I'm also not going to put the end piece on here, just to make things easier right now. So I do have a little bit of gear lash in here. You can see it going back and forth a little bit. There's a little bit of movement. And you can see here, this is kind of bad just how I'm set up. My apologies. And I am holding the oil pump and rotating the water pump. And you can see I have just over 4 thousandths of gear lash on here. So the main trick to all of this is to measure your gasket thickness when you are removing your water pump. So when you go back together with it, you can put that exact same amount of gaskets in there and your gear lash should stay the same. So that's how you rebuild a water pump for these little cranking engines, and also how to set the gear lash between the bevel gears. I'll put the parts that I used in the description. So I appreciate everyone watching. All right, I got you set up for a bulletin review. We'll go back to April of 1959, and it's number 276. It's got a few things in there, but this one's pretty lengthy. It talks about some mower and stuff like that, getting your mower set up and how to make it run properly. But here's the first page. Just talks about new tractor sales ammunition, paving the way to greater satisfaction with your new John Deere tractor. And then the next page, next few pages are all about the cutter bar care and adjustment. Just talks through it, how to tune your mower up for the upcoming hay season. I'll flip through this kind of quick here. You'll have to pause if you want to read something. So there's a few pages here. And then we got one more page on it, a little bit more up on top about cutting bar stuff. This is the reason I shared this one or brought this one up, is it talks about the installation of an oversized governor and camshaft idler shaft. So there must have been some issues with the governor idle shaft, the camshaft and the governor idle shaft loosening and failing on the 70s and 720s. But this was a way to save all of that. And then here it talks about you can rent the tool. A little bit down the road in April, a year later, in April of 1960, you could actually buy the tooling if you chose to. And it just talks about a little bit there, the special tooling you could get from John Deere, how it's set up. And then here's the last page on it, on how it's done, what you do there. I thought that was pretty interesting. I don't know if anybody's got one of those little kits, or if they've all been thrown away over the years. It'd be cool to see something like that. On the last page on this bulletin, it talks about pre-delivery service of your grain drills. And then I might have misspoke. That was the second to last page. Here's the last page. Talks about the transmission oil level on new tractors, the driver, camshaft bushings, and all that stuff. So hope you enjoy. I appreciate everyone watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Have a good day.